the angle.
Control.
And if they do make it through the laning phase, then the utility this Poppy can provide later in the game is going to be massive, especially when there's a Rakan attempting to do stuff and Poppy can just say, no, you're not allowed to do stuff. That is going to be pretty powerful as well. I think HLE, if they can actually get through this and find their way to a late game, things could actually be all right, especially with Yunara. They're always threatening to be that hyper carry in the later stage of the game. The problem is when you look over the other side, there's the quadra damage threat problem.
Yeah. Of these 10 champions, one sticks out like a sore thumb, and it's the Ahri. It just doesn't really suit this comp anymore. They didn't get the Vi with it. It's not horrible with Poppy, but the synergy isn't as strong as what you could have had with the Vi or with the Xin Zhao or even a Viego, for example.
You can do it as we jump onto the Rift.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the Rift for game number 1, HLE versus Gen.G. As we've already iterated, this is going to be potentially a tough one for HLE to navigate, but they do have that coveted Yunara pick. And Viper has already shown that he is extraordinarily...
And Keen does not have that exhaust still.
Oh no, Cannon just goes wide. So Keen, let's see whether he's going to be all right. Not going to be able to get the stun from the heroic charge, but that is still going to be enough. Top of the morning to you, does say Peanut. And that is going to be the trade here for the Dragon as another Gwen hits the dust.
Really nice usage of the ult there to crash the wave so that Peanut can come through. You could see the moment where Keen was like, am I better off just letting to make some impacts in mid lane, right? Teleported there, gave them grub control. Now he's got a nice flank angle here.
Oh dear. He is just going to face plant. He's level 5 as he uses Ruler as a bit of a taxi, but it's not going to help him. That is Canyon getting a kill back. As the grub does go down, so Peanut it's a flanked angle, not a flank angle.
Yeah.
There are different options here. There's the flash in from Duro, and I think there was a Viper there, but he has gone missing. And Peanut not even going to get the ult up as he looks to clear out this wave.
Maybe I've been trying to think about more reasons why it's okay. Keen is just going to get zoned away here.
Oh, the Hex Flash brings Delight in. There is the Pulverize to make Keen's life annoying, but Duro's going to be coming on over.
They just want to deny him some more farm here as the wave crashes.
Yeah, there's the grand entrance as Peanut not going to be able to stop him with the steadfast presence at the moment.
So Viper,
the plate going over to Viper though.
Yeah, Viper's getting money, so is Ruler, but they're going to go for more.
Double Pulverize is fantastic. The Equalizer comes down. That is such a dead Gwen. Akaruan going to cut him up, and it's the Yunara picking up the second kill. ZEUS also getting another one. 2-0-1 on this Rumble as HLE surge back into the lead.
I was going to say this is twofold really bad for all man. ZEUS has TP as well.
Wow, imagine if he just kills Ruler here. As ZEUS is able to actually land those harpoons, but the barrier comes through. Is ZEUS actually going to die? No, he's not. He's got a scrappy shield, and he's able to grab the 1v1 kill. That is a killing spree here for ZEUS' Rumble, and that is a big deal in this game as HLE also look to take the top out of turret for feats of strength.
I mean, Chovy has a 20 CS lead, but that's really the only... I mean, Viper has Kraken Slayer. I don't know, even with a quickness like that you're really going to get the fight you want here against Viper, who does have his ult back up, and he uses it, but this Yunara is so close to him, and the Rumble is such a huge problem.
I mean, he's 50 CS up, 2.5k gold. Like, it is absolutely... The entire gold lead is not going to finish anything off or anything like that, as Viper is dead yet again. Ruler is going to lock that one down. And
big greedy there.
Yeah, sometimes just farming mainly in this game is only a little bit ahead of Peanut, who is looking to take down this Rift Herald. Zeka underneath this turret.
Delight's here with Exhaust, if he can close the gap to that turret.
Yeah, the Bash Brothers are coming in, and they've now got a Pigeon as backup. In goes Duro, looking for that angle onto Zeka. He is pretty slippery as Delight gets in there. There's the exhaust down, and Canyon just has to get the heck out of there. Thankfully for him, Duro was tanking the turret, but Canyon still may not be out of the woods just yet as ZEUS is moving his way in. The flash is going to be used, even if that charm wasn't necessarily going to land, and Peanut just drives the Rift Herald into this outer turret.
It's going to be tough. HANWHA Life need to rotate in. Zeka has TP, but they're so slow on this.
Yep, and Keen has gone full economy mode. All the money is going to Ruler and to Chovy. Is now, let's see whether this team fight is going to work. The Equalizer going down very early on in this fight, but Keen in that circle, feeling pretty good about it. There is going to be the Keeper's Verdict that gets rid of this Azir, but into the backline goes Duro, charms everyone up as the Equalizer. Sorry, the shove finds nothing at all. CHOVY missing a button entirely, just breaking my brain, but it doesn't actually matter. It's 3 for nothing there from Gen.G.
Duro saves it. Keen does the most damage in the team fight. He was the one they engaged on, and even Gwen that's behind on gold has a Rift Maker. I believe he had it for the fight. He must have, because he's got a Null Magic Mantle in his inventory now as well. Is still going to be immune when he presses the immune button.
Yeah.
So he does not actually get burst down. He does survive there, and then Duro's turn is phenomenal. He has flash and ult, and
to pick up the kill onto the Poppy, and we were saying,
redemption!
Oh, the redemption kill from Duro! Oh no!
Oh man, this redemption sniping has actually become a thing this week in LCK.
Yeah, it really
Everyone's
has.
building it. It's got such immense range, so you can just snipe people, and that's Otacon. Like, there's just no way you can stop it. Keen has TP.
We said the only answer that they have to Gen.G team fighting is Poppy. And
well, they
Poppy's
don't have
dead.
it anymore, and like Keen doesn't even have to show up here, but he can with teleport. He gets a whole turret before.
Well, CHOVY just going to divide Zeka away from this one. Is able to shift the sands correctly this time around, but I don't think he's getting out of it, and that is going to be a kill going over to Viper. That is a big deal. Lots of money. But the Otacon is still dead.
They may not need to try to force to get more here. I just don't know if they have the tools to do so. Zeka's going to have to go super deep if they want to. Looks like they're just going to get a turret, but this is not a trade up. And you can see the petals here.
Yeah, they deny Cloud Soul. There is at least that. But just one Cloud Drake. This is the power of the soul, right?
But Ruler's going to get inner here as well in return. Every choice you make on the Rift when you're behind means that the enemy team, if they just realize where your bodies are, will be able to get a better, arguably, cross map, and that's what
completed here for Viper.
The problem is, like, can he fight though? Like, will he get a chance to properly fight? Like, he's had so many. He had a huge lead early, right? He's had so many angles. He had his first item first, but if he doesn't get to 5v5 team fight, how many items he has in his inventory doesn't matter. If he's just dead or if his team is dead around him, doing the same thing. Like, you have these insane high damage carries, and even though your third carry in this Gwen is not ahead, is not fed, she's still got 2 items. She still does a lot of damage. That Baron is just dead.
Yep.
And they have bullied Peanut in this mid game. Now we're heading to the late game. They only got
a band, and then the Wukong being available is just kind of nuts, as ZEUS is just dead to Ruler as well. He is collecting like you would not believe.
It's so strong in this comp.
It's ridiculous, and Delight is likely to be dead, but Keen is probably going to do the same thing, and never mind, Delight will survive. Another cheeky little kill going over to Viper there. But it's kind of a drop in the bucket, unfortunately.
Yeah, the timing, too, isn't really going to be something that HANWHA Esports can utilize here. I mean, they're facing Baron. Like, the fact that this trade is here, it doesn't mean they get to just walk over and take Dragon with a faster respawn for ZEUS or anything like that. It just isn't really going to be advantageous for them. It's a misstep for Gen.G, but that's it, and Keen can just teleport in.
Ruler is so far ahead as Duro able to dash his way out. Yeah, Ruler just doing $1.5 billion damage there to the cow that doesn't have the Unbreakable Will. A double kill comes through here as Ruler is like, is it Penta time?
Because, like, Ruler can't, like, no one can kill Ruler. Because if you try to get close enough to him as Ahri, you're going to get ulted. Like, there's so many tools to peel. Wukong is there. The Rakan is there. Viper can't hit anybody. Like, Ruler was only, like, 1,000 gold ahead moments ago. Now he's 2,000 gold ahead. He doesn't have, like, that big of a spike ahead of the Viper's items here. But he has that collector. He has all that extra lethality damage. He does so much, and he can free hit because no one can get close to him.
Nexus turrets are just going down. In goes Canyon looking for an opportunity. That is a dead monkey. I swear the Rumble just came back to life, but the Nexus gets 2 hit by this Corki that was just out of control. Look at
they have full control over the map. The collector buy into all these squishy targets. And the fact that Viper can never walk up to Ruler and hit him. And otherwise you have 2 other damage dealers that are super low range, and the Ahri that's never going to be able to hit a charm on it.
Less good.
I think the Leona really solidifies this draft a lot for HANWHA Esports. The Ezreal is safe, and we called it out earlier. It seemed pretty obvious that if it was left up, it was going to be picked here. I think a lot of Rise group teams, and even like maybe DuckDom doesn't play this, maybe you don't see GU play this, but I think in the hands of Ruler or Viper, in this case, if it was him, he'd play it. Guma shies away from it, but even he has picked up a little bit more recently. It's just such a safe pick if you're in the right hands of a very skilled AD carry. And it's also really good if you don't get engaged on and your front line gets engaged on. Ezreal can follow really well. He can layer damage in very freely, very safe in general. I like the draft of HANWHA Esports more, though. I think it has a very clear theme, and it's just engage on.
시간사에 확보되어 오신 것을 환영합니다.
All right, here we are. Onto the rift for game number 2. HLE wanting to put a dent into Gen.G for the first time in the Legend group. Unfortunately, just haven't been able to punch up so far. Ooh. As Viper getting crashed into here, we're starting this aggression early, but it looks like he will
That's
just...
what we're seeing here is Canyon's going to show up at level 4. Delight, half health, has to heal.
Yep, heal going to come through immediately as there is the Eclipse. They do just decide to go in on the Leona though, and that was after it wore off. Duro tanks the turret absolutely beautifully. And Viper just having to be here now alone. Yep. Yeah, this is the problem though, because we need POM to go to Duro.
I know.
And that's going to be more and more difficult unless he can make something happen here. There it is, Keen picking up the second kill for Gen.G.
Justice for supports.
Yeah, no, I don't think Shattering Strike going to connect, but Zay is still able to get the cannon minion.
Just Shattering Strike and then Ruler Qs like every time. Ruler also just hits all of his Qs anyways, but...
Yeah, he does.
He doesn't even need you to be here, Duro. Like, what are you doing? Well, Canyon's gonna dive.
Yeah, they're looking for the angle here. Public execution might actually just be Zeus as Ruler walking on past the turret. The last minion does go down. And does he have the Arcane Shift? The answer is he does not need it. As Delight turns up and he's like, well, what am I supposed to do now?
You generate a small lead in a lane, especially the bottom lane, and then you just play through it. And all 3 of these 80 carries, and like all 3 supports as well, will just bowl you over. You know, it's just sidestepping. He's like, I'll just auto you.
Yeah. Well, now we've got a cease and desist onto Canyon. He's got the Crescent Guard, but unfortunately everyone's in melee range, so he is just dead. 1 kill on the board here for HLE. No more perfect game for Gen.G this time. As True Shot Barrage does find a bit of damage onto Peanut. These grubs under fire. HLE will be able to lock down the second one as Arcane Shift out there from Ruler. Does miss that Mystic Shot onto Viper though, and now Peanut will be able to secure the third one. So there's something for HLE.
Yeah, Peanut,
we are so close to September, it has to be the case.
Yeah, just a few weeks away.
Yep. They're having to deal with the goalie wall once again, but Keen now in trouble as Peanut turns up. A cheeky little punch towards the goalie wall as the Maiden was actually being very annoying to Zeus as Keen keeps himself alive for a lot longer than I think a lot of us expected, but still will be going down.
Oh, look at where Zeka's like, okay, well, they're going to come get me. They want this first turret so badly. They're on Dragon. Like, do I have time? You can see he was like, not sure. Can I defend this? And they're going to try to rush the light over, but he is just going to have to leave.
Yep, there's
they're racing for it,
that I was talking about. That's fantastic. Zeka does do a little bit of damage to Duro, but he's pretty durable.
So close.
Oh, who's going to be able to get it here? As it does go over to HLE.
That's massive, actually, for them.
Push, 100%. Yeah, only cowards don't just press R on a potentially occupied brush. And now Keen doesn't know that there is no ult. So he's going to be like, why isn't he ulting me as they put him in the goal? I mean, Keen is really dead. Peanut is going to take a little bit of damage, but otherwise not too much to worry about. Down he will go. Meanwhile, Delight could be in a bit of trouble here. Featherstorm comes out as Duro could also be getting amongst it. True Shot Barrage is going to connect, but it's actually, you were just foreshadowing.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. As Chovy, you got to be careful, man.
Yep, he does have Flash, and he is going to use it, but the Flash forward from Zay.
Yeah, a little empty checkbox. Yeah, a little empty checkbox on Kill Ruler.
Yeah.
They are going to kill Herald, and they can try to turn off of this. As there is a TP for Zeka as well. He's going to use it right away.
Yep, Canyon going to dive in as Peanut also immediately throws down the ulti onto the Xin Zhao. Public execution connects onto him as well. But Canyon was surviving for such a long time, but still, these health bars are melting. Ruler has to get over the wall as unfortunately Duro not going to be able to do anything here. And the Rift Herald,
like you said, just going to get tossed in. It's going to guarantee this mid-turret, which is going to be an even larger swing of gold now for the side of HANWHA Life, and they may even be able to get an additional charge here with the late respawns. They'll think better of it. They'll decide to just let it go through. But the setup was way better for HANWHA Life. Esports there, and their comp, and Ruler has to get out of the pit.
Oh dear. Well, Chovy is between some worlds, as we can see. Trying to phase rush his way out. We'll see whether that will allow him to escape, and I think the answer is it just won't. As
Close.
Death is actually have all the priority in the world. That cheeky little ward there has been pretty good for giving some extra information over to Gen.G, but it will just allow them to be spectators.
I mean, look at Zeus. He's like, are they going to try something here? And he's like, I guess not. Nope. And he just walks up and hits the turret, and they get the dragon. You can see the Yorick push on
extra map control being gained just from that, as the Rift Herald is going to get started up. Immediately is spotted here by Gen.G, who are in the vicinity of this one.
There's that TP from Chovy, but he's late.
Yeah, a lot of buttons available here. Shield of Daybreak does come on through, and down goes the Rise. Oh man, welcome to the party, Chovy. Maybe you didn't really want to be here. As Canyon will see whether he can actually be in position to get a smite down as the feathers are in position. Canyon gets on in. There is a great Crescent Guard, but Peanut finds the smite this time around the goalie wall. Actually getting some work done as Delight still keeping himself alive. And yeah, Ruler is doing a fair bit of damage, but unfortunately it's not quite meaningful. And Zeka finds the back line. Ruler Arcane shifting to try and escape, and unfortunately even with all that damage, he is still dead. A clean ace for HLE.
It looks like HLE
This is going to chase after him. There's a public execution. And Chovy just going to see whether he can Realm Warp his way out. And he does manage to do so. Very, very nicely done.
That's pretty big because he used it to die in the last fight. Sounds a little mean, but ultimately that's what he got out of it. And that's going to be second Drake for HANWHA Life. Just with that alone, the Rise can't show up. And there's no cross-map opportunity. Well, that was, frankly, a little bit close for comfort.
A little bit of the Solar Flare going to be avoided by Ruler. Cease and Desist does come in. And the Exhaust is down as well. Chovy moves over, wants to do some of the damage. And Ruler stays alive for quite some time. Still, it doesn't matter. The bottom lane is still obliterated. And Keen a little late to the party.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how much fancy footwork you've got. Doesn't matter how quick you can shift away. You're just going to get steamrolled by this HANWHA Life Esports comp that is so far ahead. Chovy survives. They're just going to get a consolation red buff here. Canyon does have flash, but I don't know if he really wants to risk it for this one. And Zeka's just going to check just in case. Realm Warp?
Is a Realm Warp opportunity. Is Canyon's like, nah, brother, I don't really feel like doing that. They do dive in on top of Zeka. They find the Aurora. It's a lot of damage as Peanut likely to get wiped out. And there's the teleport back in from Duro. But now Viper has found his target. The triple kill as soon as he flashes over. And Delight is now just keeping this Baron interested. Duro doesn't have a smite at the ready or any funny business like that, so it will just be the and just doesn't get the information that he wants to be able to actually use it for what it was designed for. As Zeka just wanders past this turret and says, no, Gen.G, this is ours. And it absolutely is.
And Chovy gets a little bit of push on the top side, but here's an engage.
Yeah, Magnus Storm to come on through there as a public execution down on just Duro is not something that Duro really cares about. Let's see whether Zeus can survive. That's 11 dashes that he's used so far. Rune Prison not going to be dashed out of this time around though, as Gen.G I think should be able to take that one. Still, Cease and Desist.
Wait a minute.
Does come on through. There's Between Worlds as Ruler desperately trying to keep himself alive, but it does not work. Down goes the Ezreal. Peanut survives for just about forever. And Chovy's like, all right, well, I guess that's enough work that I've done here today as HLE clean up the rest.
Freak's like, all right, I'm removing that item from the game. Sundered Sky Proxy's getting in that fight. He's so fed. He has Sterex. And he's just like, I can go on this, by the way. And the rest of the team follows up. Zeka's got his ult. And HANWHA Life turned what looked like maybe a good catch from Gen.G into a potential team fight went into a complete wash. Chovy lives, but I don't think he alone will be able to stop these inhibitors from being ripped off the map. And HANWHA Life with Baron for 45 seconds more could get even more if anyone from Gen.G steps too far over the line here. And they're angling for it. They can get just a single kill. They could end, but they don't have to. They'll be happy with the two. Say it's gotten them out of a few sticky situations. It hasn't really given them too many proactive wins. They had like the turret defense top side with it as well, but they've just been behind the 8 ball for all of this game, and that's not where Arise wants to be.
And as you can see in this Viper, who does have a cheeky last whisper as well as those first 3 items. This Xayah is so frightening. 2 levels ahead as well as Solar Flare going to just connect on the edge towards Canyon. Otherwise, not too much more going to happen. There's the engage onto Delight. But he is so deceptively tanky, it's ludicrous. Takes down Canyon. Peanut able to grab kill credit for that. And now Gen.G down a member. Let's see what can happen here. Oh my goodness, it's a blender. Into the bloodbath they go as Viper free hitting. Takes down the Yorick. And it's another kill for Peanut there at the same time. Chovy just watching as his Nexus turrets get obliterated. Let's see what he can do. I don't think it's anything at all. Instead, they're going to be preparing for a Game 3 against HLE here in the Legend Group. And maybe there's finally a new contender for that top 3 spot.
This is so important for HANWHA from Gen.G, but to be honest, I think the decisive fights from HANWHA Life Esports are what really caught Gen.G off guard. Like that fight where they just ulted Canyon just were very different than the Smolder. I was like, man, the Galio's just not going to get any value with his AP, or his MR rather, into this comp if he picks the Smolder, but Ziggs is going to be very strong here in this draft, can do a lot of work and also really help clear the waves of this Sivir.
Yep. We'll see whether it is going to be like a cheeky mid lane Lucian scenario.
I don't think so, but it could be.
Because Lucian does rip holes in Galio. It was a decent matchup there of old.
For anyone,
the Aatrox is the choice.
For anyone that isn't Chovy, I'd be like, absolutely not. But Chovy has been known to play Draven mid. So he certainly could have. But when you have Braum Ziggs,
I know,
it doesn't feel really good. So I think it is still just.
And the Lucian Braum is like such good synergy as well, so it does make some sense.
I thought about it for a moment as well, but it just isn't going to come to pass in this one. The Aatrox is a really cool answer to the Scion in the top lane. Like, this has been the most common response when it's left available. You normally don't get to counterpick this. It is Zeus' Aatrox, which is pretty crazy, and he has a Jarvan.
수반사의 학교가 오신 것을 환영합니다.
I do think that this HLE draft is extraordinarily synergistic. If we get to like the late game, right, they'll be running actual circles around Gen.G with the amount of extra movement speed they'll have. Repositioning going to be fantastic as Ruler just going to take a bit of his own medicine here.
Not going to be at level 6 before Keen. If Keen has level 6, that looks very different because he can just chase him down.
Yep. It does mean that there is no pressure on Keen anymore. Because, of course, no ulti, no flash.
Yeah, that's a pretty big win. But at the end of the day, just hoping for a little bit more there. Peanut will, in return, get the dragon. So does feel like a pretty large W for the Vision Tracker.
Yeah, Chronicler definitely knows. He said it to me recently where he went, and I just don't remember enough.
Surely he'll let us know in chat soon.
Please, Cronny.
Well, no Smite down the top. He's not doing that wherever he is.
Yep.
But he remembers it fondly.
SK Gaming, so he's over in the LEC.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Thank you, prompter person.
Yeah, whoever is prompting us, we care about you. All right, Zeus going to get knocked off once again. If at first you don't succeed, guys, you try, and you try again. As Canyon grabs himself the kill, Keen was just uninterested. A Scion does not a checkmate scenario. And so Zeus will be able to catch this wave, but like you said, the plate does go down already. A 10 CS advantage for a Scion is kind of not how I was envisaging this lane to be at this stage. So well, good attention there by Canyon.
Exactly. I mean, it's on Canyon to save it, and he has done way more than that. As it will be.
I'm just a bit embarrassed because you've admitted that we both use abacuses still.
Yeah.
And a lot of people would just use their phone.
I know. Well, yesterday I was talking about TI calculators, and now I've really been outed.
Oh, man. The games that you were listing were not the same as the ones that I played.
Oh, yeah? What'd you play?
I can't tell you.
Okay.
Because I just can't talk about it. As that is going to be Canyon locking down the smite this time around. As nice spell shield there from Viper is going to make Keen's life considerably worse. But still, that is going to be the Drake secured by Gen.G. One apiece, I believe, between the two that Keen has built up, which is certainly helping Keen. Still, I mean, Zeus' Aatrox does deal with tanks relatively well. That's why he was picked. It's Peanut going to turn up, finds Duro as the Winter's Bite is going to miss. Taunt to come through. Interruption there from Duro, but it's not going to interrupt his death. That is going to be secured, and just one more necessary.
Position got caught.
Well, Chovy, let's see how the Satchel's going to do. Interrupts. As Flag and Drag going to be a league. Mega Inferno Bomb, massive damage. There's the knockup from Keen, and Canyon brings down the stars to take out the jungler. Peanut thinking better of that one. Man, Chovy Ziggs looking pretty slick.
It's a pretty good sign that he can stop those Flag and Drags on demand like that. Like, he's just so ready for it, for what these team fights are going to look like later on, because he is the primary target. Zeus is going to get a whole turret as well after the Scion showed there in mid. He just pushes that one down. Doesn't even have, like, he doesn't need a TP or anything right now. He's sitting pretty. Then he will also get the Herald. So they're
This
winning.
game is so close.
Yeah, they are. It's funny to think that, like, almost every other support you can think of someone instantly, but Braum, it takes a little time. This Herald is going to get dropped here for Gen.G, which is big because Dragon is being taken. It's hard for them to actually stop this, though, because the Herald alone isn't necessarily going to be enough.
Peanut is taking a very long time to do this. And Canyon is now moving in as best he can. Viper will be able to deal with this Rift Herald as ZEUS is moving in as well. Gen.G bring themselves over as Delight is taking the Scion for a walk. Zeka gets behind this Dragon as Canyon dives in on top of Peanut. He's deciding not to pull the trigger, but the Mega Inferno Bomb is just eaten by Zeka. ZEUS now off to the side. There's the Spell Shield from Viper doing all of the work. As Canyon puts up the door, there goes the Drake as Peanut is lying on the floor. Ruler is now free to dash around this fight wherever he wants, and Canyon just gets on top of ZEUS. He's forced underneath this just barely alive outer turret, and Gen.G, they'll pick up the feats of strength and also deny that second Dragon for HLE and win the fight.
Yeah, and they should be able to grab this turret right away as well. Ruler will take this one out, so more money. CHOVY going to get the satchel explode on this bottom turret. So
Peanut is booking it over to this side of the map, but look at the vision. There is just nothing that HLE can see. They've just used their Scryer, but look at this. Keen is a brick wall, just standing in front, denying entry here for HLE as Ruler and Canyon are looking to finish this one off. There's the Mega Inferno Bomb as Viper eats it with a Spell Shield, but Peanut not so lucky. ZEUS getting on over, but he doesn't have Smite, so he's not going to be stopping this from going down. The interruption! No justice for you, Zeka, as Ruler will get his fangs in and finds the Gargoyle. Now Viper needing to get himself out with a cleanse. Maybe? Okay, Ruler.
Maybe this time.
Yeah, the Flag and Drag is going to be able to pick him up. Let's see whether he can get out of this Cataclysm as the Mega Inferno Bomb comes down. Viper in so much trouble. Ruler, he flashes and gets the 1-for-1. Kill goes over to Light as well to add insult to injury as immediately down goes the Karma. Duro going to be able to slow up Peanut here, and Gen.G, I think they're just starting to run away with it as Peanut might, never mind, no Flag and Drag for you. It's a bouncy bomb instead,
so
and he didn't like it.
Did Ruler just get palm? Did he just say no justice for support?
No,
Is that what just happened?
No. It's Keen Palm.
The Keen Palm is kind of a cute angle. I'm gonna like entertain it for a minute.
I reckon we should entertain it.
Yeah,
it seems entertaining to me because I don't
actually.
Boom! Look at Keen. Stands in brush channels Q.
Yeah, but I don't know. Duro set that up. Maybe he is palm.
He did. Know? He also pressed Q.
Yeah. He also these comps for HANWHA Life. You want to try to collapse and punish. CHOVY is the target.
Cataclysm immediately flashed out there by CHOVY. He wants nothing to do with it. Keen. Will he die? Well, the answer is yes. It'll just take a really long time as ZEUS not going to get caught up by those concussive blows. Gonna have to flash immediately. ZEUS is on a flank angle as they do just destroy the Karma. Peanut next on the menu. He is going to be able to drag his way out as a redemption to keep him up as Ruler going aggressive. One more time between turrets, and he's feeling good about it. ZEUS trying to get himself into the backline. A big taunt from Zeka, but Ruler is still just fine. Just pursues his way out. And Viper gets flashed on, stabbed in the back by Canyon, and this game may not even make it to a soul. Gen.G might just put them in the ground right here.
No Baron required. And I hate to say it for Duro, but I think Ruler is going to get most people's votes again.
My vote that I don't have is for Keen, though.
This is one cannon minion actually gets turret aggro.
Oh, survives that? Look at the guy. Calculated. Using his whole health bar. Mega Inferno Bomb. Boom goes the Dynamite, and down goes Delight. HLE, they do get a game in the series, but unfortunately, they do not manage to take down Gen.G today. Looking pretty angry in that third game, to be honest.
I was hoping maybe to answer the question that it doesn't like it happen if you can satchel both Nexus turrets at the same time. Like he almost did it.
Get the crossover.
He almost did it if it's possible. I'm not sure if the game doesn't let you, but anyway, Gen.G getting a lead suddenly, you know, with some really